Hey, good morning. So if you're watching this, this is a virtual tour of the van I am selling, which is a Peugeot Boxer 2002. It's currently got 109,000 miles on the clock. And as you can see, it is a well-used van. I started converting it into a camper van. So through the back here, which you're going to take a look now, is the camper van. So there's a few little glitchy things on it. So for instance, this switch here is missing. It was owned by the previous guy to me was a carpenter, a little old man, and he owned it, and that's why the mileage is kind of low on it. It's got part service history. It's got about 3 months left on the MOT. What else has it got? It's also got solar panels, which I've fitted because this whole thing's built to go off grid. It's not yet complete, but let's have a look. Okay, so this is the back of the van, and in here we got the solar power batteries. We've got the solar charge controller. I'll go through all of that in a second. This big box here can be taken down. It's literally held with screws. You can take it down and reconfigure it. You can just turn this back into a normal work van if you wanted to do that. The walls are insulated, the ceiling is insulated. It's got a roof light in it. Let's have a little look. And that is the solar panels on top, and that is your roof light. So from the outside, this van, you can't actually tell that it's a stealth van for obvious reasons. If you're building a stealth van, you want it to be stealthy, so that you can go off grid and nobody knows who you are or what you're doing or what your business is. So these batteries, these are the real deal. These are Trojan T105s. They are kick-ass when it comes to off-grid living. And the first thing we do when we're switching on the system is we connect the batteries first. The reason we do that is because if you connect the solar panels first, the charge controller might, on this model, it won't do because it's an expensive model. You can price these things up. They're about 200 quid. These batteries are about 400 quid. This little unit here is about 40 quid. I'm using a 300 watt. I'll go in that in a second. So the reason we do that is to make sure that this charge controller knows that this is the battery. So we connect the batteries first, which goes through this terminal here. And then the next one we connect up is the solar panels. So as you can see, it's receiving charge from the solar panels, and we've got a little smiley face, which is always good. It's always good to have a smiley face. Okay, so the next thing that we can do is we can start using the power from the batteries. So we connect it up. We've got a 300 watt inverter with, you probably can't see it on the side, but that's a normal British plug on the side. Now, the reason I'm only using a 300 watt is because it uses less power. As soon as you switch on an inverter, I have got a 1,000 watt inverter that comes with the sale of this van, and you're very welcome to have it. So yeah, that comes part of the van. But the problem with a 1,000 watt inverter just drinks the juice. Now, with this system running on the 300 watt, you have got 4 days of power if you're just running lights, laptop, and basic equipment. 4 days of power without sunshine. So you tell me when, even on a day like today, and whoa, focus. Gosh, it's totally, wow, okay. Why is it doing that? Okay, so even on a day like today where it is grey and overcast and cloudy, it's still producing not a huge amount of power, but a small amount. So we got 0.3 of an amp coming off at 14.2 volts. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we've connected up this. The little green light is on, indicating that we got power, and we can then just plug our mobile phone in if we wanted to, or we can take the power from this plug and we can run it into our fuse board, and then we can pull power from that onto whatever systems we want running at the 240 volt. You're not going to be able to use a kettle, you're not going to be able to use anything that uses a big amount of juice, but anything that's under 300 watts for all of your stuff that's running at the time, you'll be able to pull from the system. Also on top of that, I've built on this one, it's not yet set up. Obviously this system is sold as not usable. It's sold as parts, it's sold as seen. I make no liability. I'm not an electrician. I'm not selling this saying that this system is working. I'm selling this system as parts. You have to know what you're doing before you buy this. I take no liability if you electrocute yourself, and there's a lot of amp hours in this, and trust me, it's gonna really hurt or probably kill you. So yeah, so this system is running a 12 volt system. Again, it's not connected up, it's not hooked up. I'm not going to switch that switch because it just puts those 2 points to live, and that'd be pretty silly to do. But that is a 12 volt system. So you've got the dual system, you've got the system which is running 240 volts and also 12 volts, and all you have to do is set it up, put your own lights in, etc, etc, etc. So other things that come with this van is extra carpet, fire extinguisher. So these are the struts that go across here, and then you just put your mattress on top. I have got two mattresses. They'll be classed as being used, but you're very welcome to have them. They're £80 each from IKEA, and what this van needs is it just needs finishing. So the flooring, this is not the final flooring. The final flooring is going to be wood. This is just a waterproof sheet, so if any moisture gets on here, it gets carried away. The boxing that I've used for here is pretty sturdy. Again, this is marine plywood. The idea behind this is that I was going to put marine plywood along the surface here, and then I was going to cut into it the actual cupboard doors, so you can like do that. And that's what the plan was here. So I've got the marine plywood on this, and then I was literally just going to cut the holes for the different doors and different spaces that I wanted to do it. So that is pretty much the inside. There's also there's also this, which is included in the sale. This is a diesel heater, and it'll obviously keep you nice and warm in the winter. These things are about £200 roughly. You can price them up yourself, but that's also included in the sale. So yeah, so parts wise, there's a lot of parts to keep you going. The reason I'm selling this is I am just too tall for the back of this van, and yeah, so this is a good van. I mean, you could live in here. You could live in here now because it's insulated, and it's got a bed. Obviously, the plan was to put some sort of like cooking utility here, some sort of kind of like sink unit. But I'm selling this just to clear it out because I wanted to get a bigger van, because I wanted to get a van that's taller and also slightly longer. Because when you meet me, you'll see. I just thought this one would be good, but I'm not liking the fact that I'm going to have to stoop the whole time. I actually want a van where I can stand up properly. So cool. I'm just going to show you a quick outside, and that's it. So that is the front of the van. That is the side of the van. There's the rear of the van. And then this, gonna shut this door because it has got a small little bit of damage to the side. Obviously this is a stealth van, so the outside of the van is designed to look pretty old and gnarly. But yeah, that is the van. Yeah, not a bad little van, especially if you're into converting campers, or if this is like your first camper van you want to build out. You've got a good starting point. Obviously it's not complete, it needs a lot of work to it. I don't have much time on my hands, and basically I want to build a van ready for summer next year. So that's my plan, is to sell this one. So whoever's going to get this is going to get a right stinker of a bargain. All right, well, take care, see you later, bye.